How y'all doing this morning?
Good.
Yeah. Can we Bibles turn to the book of Matthew chapter 17. We'll look at verses 14 and 15. Matthew chapter 17, verse 14 and 15. Delighted to be uplifted 2010 with you wonderful, wonderful young people and you wonderful, wonderful old people. We're going to be short this morning, but I do want to give you a word from the Lord. The Bible says in verse number 14, and when they will come to the multitudes, there came to him a certain man, kneeling down to him and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and so vexed, for oftentimes he falls into fire and often to the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Then Jesus answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. He rebuked the devil and departed out of him, and the child was cured that very hour. One of the interesting things about youthhood, if you've ever been alive at any age, you would know that youthhood presents a lot of challenges. Oftentimes, because we're young and because we don't have the benefit of knowledge and the benefit of experience, we make several mistakes. Before I go any further, I would like for everybody to know that it's okay to make mistakes. Because mistakes are a part of life. If you don't make mistakes, then you won't know what to do and what not to do. So everybody needs to know that it's okay to make mistakes. Parents, you need to know that your child is going to make mistakes. Youth workers, you need to know that your child is going to make mistakes. And we ought not criticize, or we ought not put anybody down for them making a mistake, because making a mistake is simply part of being human. However, there is a part of life that I need to talk about this morning that I believe is very important to all of us. And this thing is this living like a lunatic behavior that we all seem to have at some point or another. If you sit here this morning and say you've never lived like a lunatic, I got news for you this morning. You're a liar, and the truth is not in you. Everybody has a time in life when they lived like a lunatic. Well, the text says that this man came to Jesus shortly after he had descended from the mountain, having a meeting with his inner circle, Peter, James, and John. And the Bible says that this man came to Jesus and said, Lord, I got this problem. My son, he's a lunatic. He's so vexed, and he often falls into this fire, and he often falls into this water. Let me just take this time and stop and tell you what a lunatic is. A lunatic is a person who seems to continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. A lunatic is that person that seems to go that same place over and over again, make the same mistake over and over again. And at that point, it's no longer a mistake. At that point, what you do over and over and over again is now a behavior. You know, a lot of folk, they have gotten addicted to some things because they made the same mistake over and over again. And as a result of making that one mistake and making it over and over again, now the behavior is addictive. I come today to tell you, I come to this morning to tell you that your behavior, your addictive behavior of doing the same thing over and over again is destructive. It's in the text, the Bible says that this boy is a lunatic and he's so vexed, and oftentimes he falls into the fire, and oftentimes he falls into the water. And when I read this, I couldn't help but to think to myself, what in the world would this boy continue to go to the fire and continue to go to the water, knowing that those things that he kept going to was destructive? Well, I tell you why. The text says that the boy had a devil inside of him. The text literally indicates that there was something inside of him that did not control him and his actions. And I stopped life like a lunatic. Don't keep going back to the same thing over and over again. You knew it was destructive when you went the first time. You knew it was destructive when you went the second time. You knew it was destructive when you went the third time. And I just got to wonder and ask the question, how many times will you keep going back to what you know is destructive? Some young lady in here is going back to no good boy. Some young man is experiencing with destructive drugs. Somebody is getting involved with a crowd that means you no good. My question to you this morning is, how many times will you continue to live like a lunatic? How many times are you going to continue to do the same thing expecting a different result? You know, they tell me that's the definition of insanity. I want to know this morning, how many of you are willing to stop living like a lunatic and live for the Lord? If you're not a child of God, I want to encourage you to become one before it's everlasting too late. You've heard the word. The question is, do you believe it? If you believe it, we have no problem repenting of your sins, and confessing Christ to be the Son of the living God, going down into the water grave of baptism, rising up a new creature. If you are a child of God and you realize that you want to stop living your life like a lunatic, I encourage you to do that this morning before it's everlasting too late, because the brevity of life is not able to be determined. You know, we can be here one long moment and gone the next. Sometimes we as young people think that we're invincible, that we're going to live forever. I got time. I can do what I want to do now because I got the rest of my life to live like a Christian. Let me tell you something. You don't know when your time will be up. I had a classmate I went to school with by the name of Ian Jones, 21 years old, killed. You don't know when your time is going to be up. I want to encourage you this morning, get your life right before the everlasting too late, as we stand right now and sing this song of invitation.